Okay, everyone. Hello and welcome. My name is Cat Ellis, and I'm one of the Health Sciences Librarians here at SJSU Library. And today we're going to be talking about PubMed and kind of going over the basics of how to use it to find articles for your courses, for your research, etc. So I want to start with what is PubMed, because I'm sure you may have heard of it, but it is kind of confusing, especially if you're new to it. So PubMed, very simply, is a database with articles from the health and life sciences from the National Library of Medicine, which is part of the National Institutes of Health. It has lots of abstracts and full text links to various articles in these fields. And it also, importantly, provides example citations, but it doesn't directly export references to EndNote, Zotero, or another citation management software. So I'm going to start by showing you basically how to do a very quick keyword search. So is there a topic anyone wants to give me that we can search? Or I can come up with something. Okay, let me try some. Oh, maternal health. Okay, so I'm going to start with this. And that way we can I can kind of show you how to do these different searches. So you'll see that a lot of these terms, you'll find a ton of different articles. So for maternal health, we have over 230,000 results. So with this, there are a few different things that you can do to really make your search better. So you might notice over here on the left that we have results from 1849. Do we need results that are that old? Typically, the answer is no. Within the health sciences, we typically focus on research published within the past 3 to 5 years. So over here on the side, we're very fortunate that we have a publication date filter. So I'm going to choose this 5 years one, and that way we can find more recent research. Also useful to understand, to know about, is the article type. So here you will see a bunch of different articles of various kinds. So here's a systematic review, this is a qualitative review, a scoping review. So maybe you're wanting to find some kind of different study. So see, you can see here we have a lot of different study types that are available. And we can choose 1 or 2 or more of these to determine how you want, like what articles you want to find. Here, I'm just going to choose a multi-center study and see what we can find. And that drastically limited our results. So now we have 100th of what we started with. I'm going to try a new search and let's go like right on. So you'll see also that different terms are going to have different numbers of results. So with maternal health, which is a very broad topic, we're going to find a ton of results. With radon, which is a more specific thing, like it is referring to a specific concept, we're going to find fewer results. And we're also going to find things that, we only go back 100 years. So I want to show you some additional filters. So oftentimes you will find articles available in languages you cannot read. Under this article language category, it can really be helpful to narrow it down to languages that you can read. Also useful for things like this would be species. So maybe you don't want animal studies. Then you can select only humans. And that will help narrow down the results to more specific things that you want to find. Additional filters that you may find useful will be things like age. So you can look at a specific age group, whether that be children or adults or older adults. And you can also choose sex. It only allows male and female, but both of these can be really helpful. I'm going to try. So, say you find an article that you think would be helpful and useful for your research. So there are a few things that you can do from here. The first one is going to be finding the full text. So with this, we're very fortunate. It has a free full text. I'm just going to go ahead and select this link that says free full text, and you can access this as a PDF. It also allows you to cite it in various formats. So it defaults typically to AMA, but you can also find APA and MLA. And I also wanted to mention that this is going to be something, one, you can copy and just paste it into your project, but you can also have it where you download it as an NBIB file and upload it to something like EndNote or Zotero if that's something you're using for your work. But maybe you find, let's say, a bunch of these articles that you think would be useful. Well, there are a few things you can do there. You can take all of these and you can send them, you save it as a CSV or save it as a file that you can upload to a citation manager. You can also email the search results to yourself if you're logged in, or you can send it to a clipboard or citation manager so you can upload it there. So let's say maybe you find something that you really would like to use, but you don't have access to it through the library. So the best way to do this is to look for the article in the database or in our catalog. So I'm just going to copy and paste this. And we'll see if we actually have access to this. So it looks like we do have access to this one, but if we don't, what you can always do is select the article and request it through interlibrary loan. This will allow you to access the article completely for free, and they will email it to you typically within a couple of days. So you never have to pay for an article while you're here. Now, another thing I have seen a lot of people needing to do for their research is saving results. So you need to go and save what you searched, when you searched, how many results you got. Well, we can go here. So I'm going to go back to the homepage. You'll see right here we have advanced. You select that and go to history and search details. If you press download, this will download as a CSV file, which is a type of spreadsheet, and you can access all of this for later use. This can be really helpful if you are going to be, submitting this for a project where your professor is requiring you to provide, proof that you searched these and what you found. It can also be useful if you're looking at things related to. It can also be helpful in the case of systematic and scoping reviews and things like that. So I wanted to open it up for questions. This was a pretty quick demonstration, but obviously you may be using this for your courses and I don't know where to start. So I wanted to give you space to be able to find more information. And feel free to unmute yourself if you have questions.
I have a question. When I was using this a bit earlier, I noticed I could cite from PubMed. And then do you prefer citing from PubMed rather than clicking onto the free article and citing from there, or is it a little bit different depending?
Yeah, so it can vary depending on where you're getting the citation from. So if you're getting it from PMC, it's going to generally be the same thing because it's run by the same group of people. if you're doing it here from, for instance, it's taking me to the publisher, it can, let's see if there's a lot of differences. It can be different. And really the best bet is to, use what you find on PubMed typically. So for instance, you'll notice here, this is not an APA, it's not an MLA, it's in AMA, which may not be the format you're looking for. So typically I recommend going with PubMed because it gives you more options.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Is there a way to search just for qualitative studies? That's a really great question. And the answer is somewhat. So I'm going to show you back to advanced search. So we can try maternal health. So, but this, again, you'll see we have a ton of different research types. So for qualitative studies, what you're typically going to have to do is look at what is a qualitative study that is going to be done on this topic. So you will probably notice there are a ton of different studies in this, many of which are not going to be more qualitative. So interview is oftentimes going to be one that would count for that. So I'm just going to try that one and let's see what we can find. So we're not finding a ton of these, and a lot of these are interviews with experts. For something like trying to find a qualitative study, it can be helpful to start with something like heading and qualitative. And sometimes with this, we can find some more information. So this is a qualitative evidence synthesis. You can see several of these. And that will allow for finding some of these articles and also try and find various specific types of qualitative research. So it really depends on what you want to be finding. For this, I typically recommend actually using CINAHL, as it does a better job with giving you more study types, including the qualitative stuff. But yeah. Okay, can you show us how to save the article results again, please? Yes, of course. So this is a bit complicated, and I do realize that. So the way I recommend doing it, I'm just going to go straight back to the homepage of PubMed. And under the search box here, you can select Advanced. And at the bottom of this page, you're going to see the history and search details. So this is basically everything that you've searched typically that day. And here you can download it and it will open up as a CSV. Let me change how I'm sharing my screen so you can see this. Okay. So I'm just going to try opening this up and you'll see we have this whole search history saved. So if you want to see what you search, you can find it here. If you want to see how you filtered it, you can find it here. This bit here, the search details, is actually really interesting. It's showing you what PubMed as a computer kind of like, how should we look at this? This is what it's looking for more specifically in each of these searches. So you can also kind of figure out like what is going on. You'll also find the results. How many results did you find? The time that you searched it, which is not really useful or needed, and also the date, which can be really helpful because oftentimes you will have updated results and, it's going to be different if you're looking a month from now versus if you were looking for the same term 3 months ago. Does that make sense? Okay, good. Good. Yeah, this is something I really like to have because it's really helpful to remember what you searched, especially if you have to go back to it later, because we're not great at remembering these things, especially when we're looking at really, really long search queries where it can be nearly a paragraph long, which is unfortunately what I have to do sometimes. Does anyone have any more questions? Okay, well, I want to give you some information about some other workshops that the library is having later this semester. So some things that you might be interested in. And if you registered for this, you probably saw the one for CINAHL 101. CINAHL is the other major database used in nursing and the allied health sciences. And it has a bunch of different features that can be really helpful for finding specific article types, but also especially if you're trying to find articles specific to nursing or the allied health disciplines, and you want to find authors who are in these fields. Also has a lovely feature that allows you to search by the geographic region of the research, because I know oftentimes you're wanting to look specifically at the United States or specifically at a certain country. This helps you do that. Also useful, we have various other things. So if you're interested in publishing open access, which we do quite a bit of here, one of my colleagues will be doing a webinar on the 13th discussing that. And if you're looking for grant funding, I have another colleague who will be doing a workshop on that on the 18th. And then I will be coming back and doing a workshop on systematic reviews and other types of evidence synthesis. And how do you do those? Why would you do those in December? So that's all I have for you today. So thank you so much for coming and letting me talk about this. Of course. And I mean, it's always great to learn more about this. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm just going to put my email in here because you might want to message me. I don't know. So if you want to, I am always free to talk about this. I really do love talking about it. So thank you.